With the Knicks reaching the halfway mark of the NBA season, it's time to talk about some positives that we can take away from this season. All that and much more on the Knicks Digest. What's up, guys? It's your boy, Dariel. So the video prior to this one, I talked about some of the concerns that the Knicks may have, some of the concerns that the Knicks fan base has based off of the first half of the season. So now that we got the negative out of the way, let's talk about some of the positives. Now, one person that I'm not going to be talking about primarily in this video is Big Body Brunson. And the reason why I didn't include him in this video is because Jalen Brunson has been, as far as the best player on the Knicks team, which he has been and still is, even with the emergence of Cat, which I may or may not be talking about a little later in this video. But Jalen Brunson, in my eyes, being the best player on the team, has been consistent. He's been the best player on the team. He's been the leader on our team, obviously being named captain this past offseason, so there's that. But I guess I'm kind of like, it's kind of a given that Jalen Brunson is one of the bright spots of the season for the first half of the season. That's kind of a given. And I don't want to make it seem that I'm kind of like making light of it and that like I'm taking it for granted. I kind of wanted to highlight other areas that I've noticed in the first half of the season that I just wanted to shed light on. I just wanted to give some flowers. So I just wanted to give that little disclaimer that Jalen Brunson, I will not be talking about him in this video. But again, it's always love and salute to Jalen Brunson, our captain, our best player on the team. And I know you're gonna do big things in the playoffs, baby, because that's what we do. That's what you do. Big Body Brunson all day, every day. But now, moving on to some of the things that I've noticed from the first half of the season and that I'm taking as a positive. The first thing I'm going to be talking about, some of you guys may not approve, but let me get around to it. So, Mikal Bridges. Now, as I was making this video, I was thinking of basically everything that I've said within the last few weeks about Mikal Bridges. He's inconsistent. He has a great game, and then he drops back down. He has some donuts of a game. I get all the talk about Mikal Bridges, but in preparation for this video, I took a step back, and to be fair, I'm going to be doing some projecting with Mikal Bridges because the trade that we made this offseason for Mikal, I get it. 5 first-rounders, and for what we gave up Bogdanovich as well, we want some sort of return. That's an obvious. But we got Mikal Bridges for April. We got him for the playoffs. And depending on who we match up in the first round, second round, and third round, I think we're going to have a really, really, really good shot of getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. And hey, you never know, making it competitive. So that is why I'm including Mikal Bridges as a positive for the first half of the season. Now, to break it down a little bit further, just to give, I'm kind of playing tug of war with myself. So I get all the talk with Mikal Bridges. And to be more specific, starting on Christmas, where he had that offensive explosion of 41 points, and then the next couple of games after that, it seemed like Mikal Bridges was starting to find his groove, find his rhythm. After the Christmas game, then we were playing Orlando, where he had 17 points. Then the game after that, we were playing Washington Wizards, where he had 21 points and he had 3 rebounds and he had 7 assists. So it seemed like Mikal Bridges was starting to find his groove, where he had 21 points, he had 3 rebounds and 3 assists. So it seems like Mikal Bridges was starting to find his groove. But then after the game against Washington, then the next game right after that, it was a back-to-back with the Wizards. He had 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. So that's a little bit of a downer. And then after the game against the Washington Wizards, then he had 27 points, 1 rebound, and then that was against the Utah Jazz. And then he had 24 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. And then the Chicago Bulls, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. And then the Orlando Magic again, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. And then the Toronto Raptors, this is where the next 3 games after that Orlando Magic game, it's every Knicks fan's frustration. He goes against the Toronto Raptors, he goes for 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. The Oklahoma City Thunder, that's where he had the donut, 1 rebound and 2 assists. the Milwaukee Bucks, he has 6 points, 2 rebounds, and 6 assists. And then the beginning of this week, I'm recording this on a Saturday, the game against the Detroit Pistons, 27 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Wednesday against the 76ers, 23 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. And then yesterday, 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. So the reason why I'm giving you all those numbers, I know it's a lot of numbers, and I know it's all over the place. Peaks and valleys. But again, the reason why I'm including Mikal Bridges as part of being a positive for the first half of the season is because with the move that we made for Mikal Bridges, like, we're all in, man. The addition of Cat, the trade last year for OG Anunoby, and then trading for Mikal Bridges, and then Josh Hart trading last year. Like, we're all in, and we're at a much better position right now to make a serious run for this season. And in prior seasons, like last season, we knew we were good, but we didn't know exactly how far we could have gone. If we were healthy against the Indiana Pacers, we definitely would have made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, which definitely would have been an achievement. But it didn't turn out that way. We lost in 7 in the Garden to the Indiana Pacers. The year before that, we lost in the second round to the Miami Heat. So, like, we always had a decent team being led by Jalen Brunson. But now with the addition of Mikal Bridges, Cat, like, we're all in, man. And having Mikal Bridges, knowing his resume, I'm in the camp of I'm gonna ride for Mikal Bridges. Pause. But like I'm just more comfortable knowing that we have Mikal Bridges and knowing that in the playoffs it's a different type of season. The physicality goes up, the pace of play goes down, the physicality picks up, and Mikal Bridges is looked at as one of our better perimeter defenders on the team. In the league, he's definitely top 3, top 5. I'll say more comfortably top 5 because what Dyson Daniel has been able to do this season is absolutely ridiculous. OG is definitely top 3. Mikal, I'll probably put top 5. But I'm basically saying that I'm happy with having Mikal Bridges on the team, even with his inconsistencies, and I'm projecting a little bit. But I have the utmost confidence that Mikal Bridges, maybe leading the 2 weeks leading into the playoffs, he might officially find his groove and he might officially find the consistency. It's either one of two things are going to happen. That's going to happen, or in the playoffs, with what I just said, the pace of play slowing down, the physicality ramping up, I feel like Mikal Bridges is a really good piece to have. And then when we match up against, hopefully we get to the ECF and going against Boston or even going against Cleveland, like, we have the pieces to match up with these teams, the better teams in the Eastern Conference. So that's why I put Mikal Bridges in the positive side of things for the first half of the season. Now, in the comments, if you guys, whatever, want to kill me, like you always do, whatever. But if you guys want to go at me in the comments telling me that Mikal Bridges is a little bit too inconsistent, I'm not going to get mad at that. I totally get it. I totally understand. But this is just my personal point of view. Now, the next person that I'm going to be talking about as far as a positive for the first half of the season, I don't think there's any question. I don't think there's any debate. Karl-Anthony Towns has been playing like a man possessed. I don't think anybody saw this from Cat. With his resume with the Minnesota Timberwolves as far as being the best player on the team. Is he going to be able to lead you to deep playoff runs? Can he be the best player on a winning championship team or whatever? Nobody has seen this Cat before. And the questions surrounding him as far as the New York media and if he has these boneheaded basketball IQ fouls and just the way he plays, like, it could have went wrong. But as of this moment right now of recording this video, it couldn't have gone any better than I have planned or anybody has planned. So up until this recording of this video, he's averaging 25 points, he's averaging 14 rebounds, he's averaging 3 assists. And the last game he played was on Monday against the Detroit Pistons, 26-12. The game prior to that against the Milwaukee Bucks, he had 30 and 18. Prior to that at OKC, 23 and 10. Prior to that, Toronto, 27 and 13. Prior to that, he had 44 and 16 against the Chicago Bulls. Like, this guy has a strong double-double every night. Now, of course, that's because we are relying on him. Obviously, he's our starting big. He is the best big on the team. And he's in a bit of a disadvantage. His natural position is the 4. but he is a team player, so he's going to do whatever he can to help the team succeed. And as far as right now, that is him playing at the 5 spot. And him at the 5 spot, he is able to take advantage of some of his skills, being able to put the ball on the floor, being able to stretch the floor and hit the 3 ball. For the season, he is averaging 2 3-pointers made, and that is on 5 3-point attempts. And so that is 44.9, 45% 3-point. I've always said that Cat needs to average anywhere from 5 to 8 3-pointers. And if you maybe push it to 9, but primarily 5 to 8. And he's averaging right now 5 on the dot. And with the conversion of 45%, that's a perfect sweet spot. Now, giving Cat all of his praise, giving Cat all of his flowers, I'm still going to remain true to what I said. All of this regular season stuff is cute. Salute to Cat. Of course, I want you to play as well as you can in every single game that you play in the regular season. In order to get to the playoffs, we got to play well in the regular season. So he's done his job. Up until this moment, he's done his job. And whenever he comes back, hopefully sooner than later, from that sprained thumb and that bone chip in his finger, I fully have confidence that he's going to remain the same person that he's been. He's going to keep playing the way he's been and just dominating throughout the Eastern Conference. But I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm going to keep it real, like I always have been, like I always will. This is not going to matter if we don't make serious noise in the playoffs. And the narrative around Cat's name, if we don't make it to the East, in my opinion, Eastern Conference Finals are bust. We need to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals to make it a successful season. Hopefully, Mitchell Robinson is healthy by that time. And depending on the trade that we make by the trade deadline on February 6th, maybe the team might look a little different. But as far as this moment right now, all we know, the only thing that we're missing as far as this moment is Mitchell Robinson's return. Right now, in this moment, with a fully healthy Mitchell Robinson, it's Eastern Conference Finals or bust. And on top of that, we cannot get eliminated in 4 or 5 games. We need to make it a minimum of 6 games, competitive series against the Boston Celtics or the Cleveland Cavaliers or whoever it is. We need to make it competitive. So having said all of that, if we don't get to in my opinion, if we don't get to the Eastern Conference Finals and we lose or if we make it to the Eastern Conference Finals and we lose in 4 or 5 games, it's a disappointment. It's a disappointment. And then the narrative around Cat's name is not going to change. All this stuff is still going to continue. Is he the player that everybody expected him to be? The talk about him being soft, like all this stuff I feel like is going to be for nothing. And this is a perfect opportunity for Cat to change a lot of stuff of the way people talk about him. I'm very interested to see if he makes the same mistakes that he has in the past, specifically in the playoffs. Some real bad, boneheaded, really low basketball IQ, just fouling 30 feet away from the rim, just like, I don't know. And one of the concerns that I have is the teams are going to have a lot more time to scout the players that they're going up against, the team that they're going up against. And I've always said that Cat is kind of easy to guard. I mean, obviously I'm not in the NBA, so whatever. Kill me in the comments, whatever. But my scouting report against Cat is make him put it on the floor, and when he puts it on the floor, he's going to lower his shoulder, and he's going to lower his head. So all you got to do is move your feet as quickly as possible, get in front of him, and get that offensive foul. Now, if he starts to fall in love with the 3, which is something else I would try and make him do, I would try and make him fall in love with the 3 with a pick and pop. Try and make him stay outside of the lane as much as possible. But I would just kind of like just be up in his grill, just be very annoying, be a big pest. I don't know if we can say that we've seen that this season going up against Cat. Maybe I'm just not remembering it in the moment right now, but it's just going to be very interesting. I am so excited, and I am so interested to see how Cat plays in the playoffs in a bigger market with New York, where the NBA eyes are going to be on him, because 100% one of top 3 storylines of the season for the first half of the season is the way the Knicks have been playing. Their Knicks are, Kendrick Perkins is always riding for Big Body Brunson all the time. The Knicks, he's riding for Cat as well. So yeah, man, hopefully he doesn't let us down. But as far as the positives that I've taken away for the first half of the season, Mikal Bridges, I'm throwing him in there because just of the addition and the type of player, the level of quality, the type of player he is, to have him on our squad, that is going to do wonders for us. And that makes me it just makes me sleep a little bit easier at night. And I mean, Cat, I just went on like, an 8-minute rant of just how well Cat has played. just how much he's actually just defied the odds, and he's actually made me start to question everything I've said about him. But again, I gotta slow my roll at the same time, because I do have to throw in that caveat that this is regular season. Regular season is 82 games. Every game, it doesn't matter. Like, it's game 7, obviously. Even the players, if you get to interview them where they're not robotic, they'll tell you the same thing. So regular season, all this stuff is cute, cat. But when April comes around, hopefully you're healthy, and hopefully we have a healthy squad. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna, when the lights are on, are you gonna perform for us, or are you gonna wither within all the noise and within all of the just stuff going on around, the pressure and the limelight and all that stuff? I think you won't. I think you'll actually come through, and I think you'll actually show everybody the type of player that you really are. But I have a lot of apprehension, man. I gotta see it before I just, claim you as the best big in the league. So we'll see what happens, guys. But that's it for today's video. I want to say thank you so much for checking it out. Leave it in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought about my take about Mikal Bridges and Cat. Also, leave it in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought about the previous video about some of the concerns that I've seen from the first half of the season. This video, it's all positive stuff, the positive things that I've taken away from the first half of the season. But the video prior to this, it was some of the concerns that I still have even after playing 41 games in this NBA season. But of course, Jalen Brunson for all the MVPs. The Deuce is loose for co-MVP. OG Anunoby for Defensive Player of the Year. Taj Gibson for President. Always love, always forever. And you guys, you know what's up, man. Queens forever. Queens get the money. New York all day, every day. You heard? Peace.